Okay, it's the last day of the cruise. We're about to get off the ship shortly, but we've had time to digest and talk about how we almost missed the ship. So the PTSD has worn off. Hopefully, some of the shock is gone. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about. So first, we're in Cozumel, Mexico. The day was like wonderful. Like we were on rented a scooter, we were going to a bunch of different places. Then at noon we came back on, ate at Playmakers, went back out. The plan was to go to Chin Rio, ultimately go hang out on the beach there, and then come back. But this is some advice on what it's like to almost miss the ship and some thing obvious things of like what not to do. It's pretty obvious. Just make it back to the ship earlier. Give yourself more room. But please inject something into this, please.
No, I don't think so that the PTSD wore out because when you're thinking
Who?
about it,
You said what?
I don't think so it's wore out because when you're thinking about it, it's still terrified to miss the ship.
Yeah. It's terrifying. And I'll tell you this. Like you'll go have so many thoughts that go through your mind. Like when you're.
They have like a
gonna-
slideshow.
Yeah, like one thing I thought about was, man, I'm not gonna get the crown and anchor points for, the next day of the last day of the sailing, and are they gonna give me the crown and anchor points for today, even though I was on the ship for half the time? And one thing that I was concerned with us missing the ship was, we didn't bring our passports for some reason. This time in Cozumel, for some reason we just didn't bring the passports, and that would
we
have.
really didn't plan to be late.
Yeah. The
That's
plan was
probably the
never.
reason.
Yeah, it was never to be late. But let me show you exactly where this place is on the map. So we talked to one of those people that gives like free information and stuff like that about the island, and I've heard from multiple people go to Chin Rio. It's like a real local spot. We were looking for a local type of beach. You can see Chin Rio is right there on the map, and just imagine where my finger is. The cruise port terminal is right there. So we had to go from here all the way over to here. But obviously we can't just do a straight shot like that. Cozumel's not set up like this. We literally had to go all the way here on a scooter and get to here. Now on the map, it doesn't look that far, but in reality, it was that far. Yeah, now we're on the scooter, we're going 90 kilometers, like we're maxing the scooter out. I'm like in a tuck position, trying to get very aerodynamic, like boom, 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 just trying to race my way to get back to the ship. Now, at this point where we were, you can't even see the cruise port. Obviously, Chin Rio's on the other side of the island, so you're not going to see the ship. But once we even got to that little bend where we make the stretch where we're onto the side of the
just the woods.
Yeah, it's just woods and it's just water. You see absolutely nothing. And I'm just like looking at the time. I'm like, it's 4:05. And by the way, the gangway had to be up at 4:30. So at 4:05, I'm looking, I see nothing. 4:10, I'm looking up, I see nothing. 4:15, I'm looking up, I still see nothing. And I'm like, we got 15 minutes to be back on the ship. And at this point, it's like 4:20 something. It's 4:26. Now look, I have to get gas for the scooter. At that point, I just said, screw it. We're just gonna drop the scooter off, hand this dude some cash for the scooter, and we got a jet. So around 4:20, probably like 4:25, I started to be able to see some of the ship and see some of the buildings out in the port area. So I was like, okay, at least we're close. And then 4:30 hits. So we get into the section where we're in the area where the cruise is and like some of the shopping stuff. And it's 4:30 already. Mind you, it's 4:30. So if you're familiar with Cozumel, you know that outside of the port, there's that light, that little intersection. At this point, I'm like, screw this light. We blow through the light, cars are honking, I'm like, I don't care. Now, the place to drop off is on the left. I literally went into opposing traffic, did a little, hit the brakes, like we took the helmets off,
The
gave the
helmet's
dude the money.
falling on the floor.
Yeah.
Money's flying.
Yeah, money, like give the guy the money. I'm literally sprinting full out from the streets to the port.
So he just
barefoot.
taking off.
Yeah, barefoot. Because I left her because she's not as fast as me. But I figured, hey, I can get to the port, get to the gangway, and hold it up in time for her to I guess pull up the rear. But like all the thoughts that go through your mind, like it's crazy. It's like, oh man, How are we gonna
Like
get
your
back
whole
home?
life, like in a slideshow,
Yeah,
and you
like-
only have a swimsuit on you.
Yeah, we only had swimsuits. I'm thinking like, man, how are we gonna get back? I mean, I wasn't too worried about us not having the passports because of it. Like, we'll make our way home. But I'm thinking like, man, what are they gonna do with our luggage? Like, obviously they'll have to pack it up. It's like, man, like, are they just gonna like throw our stuff out on the pier or something? Like, once they get back to Galveston, like, what number do we have to contact? Which I think there's a number somewhere in like the Royal Caribbean app, like if you get left. But I was like, man, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm just like, this is just horrible. So now we hit the pier. So I'm on the pier, I'm running, boom, boom. Now, Independence of the
Barefoot.
Seas, yeah, barefoot. Independence of the Seas is to the left of us. And they leave an hour later. So they got their people walking, and I'm just like running. And then I turn the corner, and then of course, we're those people. They're pier runners. Now look, if anyone has video of this from the September 30th through October 5th sailing of Mariner of the Seas out of Galveston, please send it to me because
It's hilarious.
it's hilarious. Like people, they were like, oh, and they were cheering me on and stuff. It was just absolutely funny. Now I get on the ship and then
I was
later,
screaming and running, take me home.
what were we saying?
I was like, take me home.
Oh my, were you really? Oh my God. Who were you screaming to?
To the people who was watching.
Okay, okay. But really, really funny. So later on the ship, I think yesterday, I actually ran into a guy. He was like, were you the pier runner? And I was like, yeah, that was me. But crazy experience. I do not recommend it. Like, if you're ever coming to Cozumel and you're going to
Terrifying.
Chin Rio, give yourself at least 45 minutes. To be safe, I would say even an hour.
Even an hour.
Yeah, if you want to push 45, hey, you could do it. But then you run the risk of mechanical failure. Like if something happens, then you got to deal with this. Because I will tell you, this area, there's not a lot of infrastructure.
Like
there
nothing really.
aren't that many cars that are going by. And at one point, like because we were exploring the island, we stopped by the side of the road just to like look at different things, and we were just trying to scout Cozumel. Basically, we were exploring everything, and we learned a lot. Like you can go watch the video. One person actually was like, "Hey," he kind of like pulled off to the side. "Hey, you guys need some help?" Which it was really nice of him, but luckily we didn't need any help. But if you do
And
need
there's no
help,
traffic there, so.
yeah, it's no traffic, no lights, nothing like
Yeah.
nothing. There's no hotels. There's just random beach bars and stuff like this that you'll find, but there's a lot of empty space in between. So, of course, like when you do rent a scooter, the guy will give you his number in case you do break down, and he'll come and get you. But again, that's still an issue because he has to get to you and then you have to get back. So definitely,
Give yourself time.
yeah, give yourself time, err on the side of caution, unlike me. And luckily, we didn't have any mechanical breakdowns because if we had a flat, we would have been toast. We would have been those people spending the weekend in Cozumel or something.
Yeah, and like, hey, we got lucky that our scooter can go that fast.
Yeah,
Because-
and that's the thing too. I don't know if all the scooters are able, which I would think they all are, because I mean, if that scooter was only going, because the speed limit I think was 80
80.
kilometers per hour, and I think if our scooter was going 80 or even 60 max, we wouldn't have made it. We were lucky to get that scooter up to like 90, close to 90, and hold it there. And I could feel the motor. It was that motor is like, and the gas gauge was
And
just
the
going.
wind is just like
Yeah.
something else when you're on
Yeah.
a scooter
And
on
I-
that speed.
And I didn't, and it's so funny. So my Ray-Bans, I just left them on the beach because I ended up cracking the frame on the shore excursion in Costa Maya. So I just left them there, and the wind was just killer. Like tears were just all the like water and moisture was just like exiting my eyes, and I was just like, man, this is a rough one. But that's the story of us almost getting left in Cozumel. It was fun. We can say that now. It was fun because we safely made it back on the ship. But in the moment, super stressful. It was just like, I was keeping the faith the entire way. Now, of course, we've been to Cozumel multiple times, but obviously never to this place. So it was a bit foolish of me to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna blah, blah, blah. Because honestly, I really didn't know like how much time it would take to get back to, I guess I was just lucky. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could just say I'm really lucky. Oh, another thing. Part of me, I'm like thinking in my head as we're riding the scooter, I'm thinking to myself, please someone have a medical emergency to where they have to delay the departure. Because this actually happened, I forget which cruise we were on. Oh, this happened when we were in Coco Cay on Freedom. We had to delay our departure from Coco Cay because there was a medical emergency. So I was hoping, like, please someone have a medical, and I mean, I guess in that case, someone would have to, yeah, like someone has to go for us to, But these are like thoughts that go through your head. Like you have a lot of like weird thoughts. Like what else were you thinking?
I was thinking like where I'm gonna be. You have your wallet at least. I have
Yeah.
absolutely nothing on me. No ID, no passport, nothing. I have a swimsuit.
Yeah.
And before we got on the scooter, because scooter was going pretty fast,
Yeah.
before 90, I was like, don't kill me in Mexico. And now I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be left in the Mexico. I was like, we're not gonna make it in time back
Yeah.
home. Like, we're gonna be stuck somewhere to be able to get home. Like,
Yeah.
like salty, dirty in the swimsuit.
Yeah, sweaty, yeah,
Sweaty,
all that
and it's-
stuff,
yeah.
sandy, everything. But it ultimately it was a
Just
fun
like,
experience.
I just wanna go home.
Yeah, it's a fun experience. Like some people say, like, "Oh, being a peer runner is cool." I'll tell you, it's not cool, guys.
No.
I mean, I'm just gonna warn you right now. It's nothing cool about being
You
a peer
don't think
runner.
about people who's like looking at the
Yeah.
runners because we was those people who look from the boat to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
if someone gonna be running.
Yeah, like I'm like trying to catch some people, and here we are. We turn into the thing that we're trying to like make fun of. So I guess
It's really
that's
scary because ship is not gonna wait for you.
yeah, it's not gonna wait.
Because as soon as we get on a ship and you're going through like scanning the cards, we turn around a minute later and they pulling the stuff
literally,
out.
Yes, they were literally pulling the gangway up. Like we got back on the ship, I think 4:34. Again, like you said, we turned around like a minute or two later. They're pulling the gangway up, and we're just so lucky. If they pulled that gangway up at 4:30, we were toast. Like if they pulled it up at 4:30 on the dot, we would have been toast.
Yeah.
And yeah, that part was crazy. Now, of course, it's different being a peer runner when you're already inside of the port and you're just kind of like waiting until the very last second and then you're just gonna like stroll up. But no, it's different when you're like miles and miles and miles away from
And
the
we
port.
start running like at the port as soon as you get to the port.
Yeah, like
we was
on the- we
running
were-
through security.
Yeah, we literally ran from the street of Cozumel. If you're familiar with Cozumel, you walk out the port, that main strip of road, we literally ran from there because I tried to run with the sandals. I took them joints off. I was like, I'm going barefoot. And I'm like Barry Sanders through the cruise port. I'm like, juking. And I'm just like cutting corners. I still have blisters on my feet right now from running
Right.
through the port. Yeah, and I was just like, hey, I got to sacrifice it. And of course, like, if you go through ports, they got to check the C-Pass cards and stuff. We were just like,
we
I'm
just
like,
running.
there's no time to check C-Pass cards. I'm like, we got to go. I was like, I'll leave that for her to handle. Like, I got to get going. You can, if you want to, do that. I was like, okay. But I was out. So, yeah, that's the story. And we're sticking with this. So let me know in the comments below if you've got left at a port, what you had to do, or if you were also a peer runner.
I don't want to know what they have to
yeah,
do because
I
I'm not
wanna-
doing that again.
Yeah, I want to know some stories in the comments below.
I
We'll
was
see you.
traumatized the whole evening.
Yeah, she had PTSD. I was calling it post-traumatic stranded disorder, peer runner traumatic stress disorder. Like she was going through it. But all right, guys, leave your comments in the comments below. We'll see you guys in the next one.